welcome to Inside Media, where we discuss advertising. We discuss various media, but today we've got a wonderful campaign to look at for you guys. And explain.
And I think one of the hardest things to do in advertising is the social kind of, how would you call it, social engagement, dealing with problems in society, and this is a big one. Apparently in Australia, the weed is a problem.
It's amazing that it even grows there because it's so hot.
I didn't know you could get it there, to be quite honest with you.
So it must be grown sort of up in the tropics, further up on the islands, maybe even from New Zealand.
It probably does get brought in. We know it's Australia because they're wearing uniforms.
Okay, time's up. Pens down. Delilah. Pens down, Delilah.
Stoner Sloth.
Are you sure this is about a marijuana campaign? Because clearly it looks like she's on Rohypnol. I just don't think that could possibly be a marijuana.
But also, I don't think anyone on marijuana is that possessive. It's almost like that sloth had cubs and was trying to protect them. But it was actually just a blank piece of paper because she was too stoned.
I just think that maybe they did not research this enough, because this is more like you're worse on angel dust.
Could you pass the salt, please, darling? Jason, the salt.
Stoner Sloth.
Maybe this campaign actually had legs, so they could just put any drug up at the end that would happen to be a societal problem at the time. So, you know, you're worse on Oxycontin.
Well, maybe the fact is that maybe it's almost a subversive ad. They're bragging that Australia has the strongest weed in the world.
Yeah, because
it will literally make you not know the difference between salad and salt.
Salad and salt, and
you'd be like,
who?
So I told her she cannot wear socks and sandals out of the house anymore.
It's so funny. What do you think, Dave?
What happened in that one at the house party?
At the house party, they basically said, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And he didn't know what they were talking about, and they were like, "Oh, Stoner Sloth."
Oh, man!
And then they all just like walked off.
Were they talking about a TV show?
Yes. And I find that the weakest in the campaign.
I agree, because everyone who smokes weed watches TV. If they were talking about a TV show, you would have picked it up.
I just don't think it had the gravitas of the
first two.
Also, on first watching, I thought, is this some sort of viral campaign for the new Star Wars?
Disney, we'll see. I mean, they're very lucky to get away with those Chewbacca-esque sounds. The groaning of Delilah.
Delilah. I mean, it's a very Australian name. It's very kind of rural.
Delilah. Pens down, Delilah.
The script writers would have gone through a lot of names and decided on that one to epitomise the stoner.
Yeah, I would not. I'd bet money on the fact that they probably tried. What about Mary Jane?
The person on the bath salts.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, she's smoking Mary Jane. Her name is Mary Jane. Too obvious? I don't know. Let's go with Delilah.
I think Mary Jane might have worked.
Do you not find that this is maybe a little bit sort of semi-racist? Also because
towards Australians,
towards sloths. Because it's saying, sloths are
useless.
I bet you in the ecosystem, if you looked it up on Google, you would find that they're probably
quite productive creatures. Yeah. I know they do climb down the tree once a year to defecate, and then they go back up again. So they do that once a year. But I mean,
so they're not actually contributing to the all the carbon monoxide in the world. So they're actually doing their own thing. So leave them be.
And they procreate. They're useful creatures.
But in Australia, do you
even get sloths there?
That's my other thing.
That's why it's racist. They wouldn't have used a koala.
They wouldn't, or a kangaroo.
Stoneroo.
Stoneroo sounds fucking great, actually.
Right,
maybe that's the way to go.
Stoneroo or Coke koala. I don't know.
Coke koala. Yeah. No, but kangaroo would be great because Stoneroo, because he doesn't want to hop, he doesn't want to box on camera in the carnival.
It's also difficult for kangaroos to write, so it would have worked in the first ad.
And also
pass the salt.
Smoke weed.
Yeah, how do those things even smoke? Is that why they gave them those talons? Because it looks like you could fit joints.
Yeah, it's probably
like
some sort of marijuana
joints,
paraphernalia. Those claws. I don't know.
That would be interesting.
But like I say, I mean, in Australia, is it a thing that you suddenly have an animal in the class with you, or is it a metaphor? I don't know.
Well, you know, they get dingoes all over. Dingoes always steal into the strangest places. So I wouldn't be surprised if you got wild animals in Australian classrooms.
This is why
That's
thinking.
an outback classroom. We can see in the opening shot the way the trees are blustering in the windows. It's definitely the outback.
And also the accent, very, very rural.
Stoner Sloth.
Very rural.
And also what I do like about this ad is how the other kids really don't like them.
Yeah.
You know, they really kind of, they're like,
dismissive.
Dismissive.
Sloth,
yeah, exactly. Because if they were like Rad, Stoner Sloth, or like,
Stoner Sloth, can we hook up a bit later? I got something to ask you. Behind the bike shed, you know what I mean?
Do you need some help, like with your, you know, I can tutor you.
Yeah.
We can meet later at the bike shed.
I'm having issues with my parents. I needed like de-stress.
Yeah.
You know, and the other thing in Australia is that, you know, they fancy a tin. You know, they like to get pissed. Like, you know, mid-morning they're stuck in.
Yeah,
so obviously very anti-marijuana because, you know, it's better to be drinking during the day.
Absolutely. I think it might have been sponsored by the Australian Brewery Association.
And the Australian Tourism Board, because, I mean, it creates so many sort of intriguing thoughts. Are there sloths amongst the people? Can you talk to them? Are they named Delilah? And also, is there weed that strong that you basically don't know the difference between salt and salad?
And salad.
Let's go to Australia and find out.
We would love to go to Australia and find out. And if you made that ad, get in touch with us.
Please do. If you're not so high that you're
really there.
You're just having trouble coping with thought and movement. Good on you. Good on you, mate.
Good on you, Aussies.
So, I mean, would you say that's an effective campaign? Did you enjoy it?
I don't think it.
Is it something to do with Hugh Jackman and
Wolverine?
Wolverine, is there some sort of subtle tie-in to the Marvel universe?
Look, you know, to make these public address kind of ads, you do need a lot of different funders. So some of the money might have come from Marvel,
Stan Lee,
the Australian breweries, the Australian Tourism Board.
And people for the ethical treatment of sloths.
Absolutely, and I think possibly even the school board.
So I think
for a group effort, didn't quite work.
Okay, I loved it.
Look, it makes us want to go to Australia and
to research.
Yeah, to try it out. Try it that